What's up, girlfriend?
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
You ready or what?
I am ready. I am
Hey, I just
ready.
got done kicking Erin's butt real quick, and Erin told me to make sure I give her a shout out since she was like, I'm the one that got this set up." Yes, Erin. Yeah, yeah. I told her
Okay.
I'd give her all the props.
Yeah. So for anybody that's curious about me being interviewed, I think this is a good time to announce that Erin will be interviewing me.
Oh yeah, she's gonna interview you.
Yeah. Wait, guys, I'm frozen. Hold
Uh,
on. Let me come
well,
back to you. Let me come back to you in 1 second. Hold on. Guys, okay, I wasn't. Oh my goodness. Who the heck? Stop it, guys. Don't say I'm frozen if I'm not frozen. That's rude.
so, so,
Okay.
so you're not frozen on my side. If they're frozen on their chat, they need to close out their app and come back in.
Okay. Are we good, guys? We good?
No, yeah.
Yes.
Let me
Okay.
pause. Let me pause my music so that my music's not interrupting anything.
Yeah, the music too. I can't post on YouTube if there's music because it's
Yeah.
like copyright or whatever. Okay, so I guess let's just start off with you like introducing yourself. How did you get into TikTok? How did you get into like the exotic animal scene? You know, what started you on this journey?
Well, so I guess what almost 3 years ago now, we got our first monkey, Oliver, um, and he was. So let me back up. So in 2020, my wife had a pet marmoset when we got together in 19. She had a pet marmoset, and we had he passed away in 2020. Well, she went through a big grieving process. It was almost like losing one of our kids or losing one of her kids. I mean, she'd had him for 6 years. He went everywhere with her. I mean, did everything with her, anywhere and everywhere that she went, he went. Well, when he passed away, I was there for that. It was horrible. It was just a tough experience. Well, after running through the grieving process and losing that baby, she started getting chickens. Trying to find something that she needed to fill the void with. Well, we got her puppy first. She's got a long haired party Yorkie. I drove all the way to Louisiana, round trip that bitch to pick this dog up for her, bring this dog back, and this dog literally lived on our counters. Like that's where she had this dog all the time. Like it was just a little video thing like this, little old fucking fur ball. And like she held this dog everywhere that she went. Anywhere she went, that dog went. Well, then she wanted something else, or maybe it was the chickens first. I don't remember. Either way, and then we got into the chickens, and we got like, I think we ended up having 200 chickens at one time. And then we ended up with goats, and we ended up with miniature ponies. We ended up with all these animals trying to fill this void of what she really missed. And so I finally sat down with her one day and I said, "Hey, I said, you thought about ever getting another monkey?" And she said, that's a lifelong commitment, right? I said, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you, then why not go ahead and let's just get a monkey? And she goes, okay, all right, but I don't want. I told her, I said, my only stipulation was I did not want a marmoset, which is the little ones
Okay.
that she had. They're real bitey. They don't make good pets. They're not the ideal pet for anybody. They like one person and one person only. And I said, that's my only stipulation. She said, that's fine. We'll get a capuchin. I said, okay. So she put us on a waiting list. She wanted a little girl. And she said, uh, she wanted a little girl. So she got on a waiting list. 13 months she waited and waited and waited and waited. And it was just like, you didn't think the time was ever going to come. And a friend of hers called her up one day and said, hey, I've got your monkey. It's a little boy. I know you don't want a little boy, you want a little girl, but we got your monkey. I got a breeder who's in a bind. He pulled a monkey and the buyer didn't show up and he's leaving town. He needs somebody to babysit this little boy. So she called me. She's explaining it. She's crying. She's explaining the whole story. From, the whole story to me and trying to, because I'm at work. So she's trying to, I said, when I get off, I said, let's go. We'll go up there. We'll pick him up. We'll bring him home. We'll babysit him. If you don't want to keep him, we'll take him back and, whatever, however. So we drive up to the hill country in Texas and we meet the breeder and he brings out this little banana box with this dirty ass little baby monkey in there. And he doesn't have a diaper on. He's just a naked little monkey. So he brings us this monkey, and of course, at that, it's immediately love at first sight.
Yeah.
And so we pay for him, and we bring him home, and of course, we're in love with him. And so 4 days later, we get a phone call, and that was Oliver. And so 4 days later, our breeder calls, "Hey, your little girl's ready to go. Come get him or come get her." Here comes the phone call again. She calls me. She's bawling. "Hey, our breeder just called. Our little girl's ready to go." Oh, fuck. Well, I guess we got to figure out how to come up with another $18,000 and go get her.
That's how much a
So,
monkey costs?
well, Oliver was 18,000. Locke was 18,000. Luca was 16,000, and Honesty was 23,000. Yeah. So we scrape all the money together. We get it all together, and we haul ass down to our breeder, and she picks up our little girl, and we get the breeder, and we come back. She comes home with the breeder, or from the breeder with the two babies. So now we have Lox and Ollie. So we have it's Loxley Rockland and Oliver Spry. Those are the two babies. That's all I was thinking about we were going to have. Okay, those are our monkeys. That's it. That's it. We started making TikToks because we wanted to track the growth in our progress and all of this. Well, my 15-year-old, he's 15 now. My stepson comes in one day and he's making fun of his mom. He says, "Mom, your videos are lame. They're just lame. I can make one video and make you go viral on TikTok."
And you did.
He made one video. And if you look at our Lox and Ollie page, it's one of the top viewed videos on there. And it's baby Oliver running from the door to his mama in our bedroom across the floor. And that video went viral. And from there, we just started growing and growing and growing and growing. And our followers just started building up and building up and building up. And so the story goes on and on and on. And as we grew the platform, so many people came into our life and have parted ways and done different things. And there's been, other creators have come in that have monkeys that we've been associated with that have separated and went other ways. They didn't like the fact that so many people were loyal to us, that they were this or they were that, or whatever the situation was. And so it was kind of it was weird to us, right? It was just like we'll help anybody, just like me with your platform. Whenever you sit here and talk about how your platform is interviewing people, it is trying to help people grow their platforms. Well, we've helped several people, that had monkeys try to grow platforms and help them and hang out with them. And we wanted to have that camaraderie with other monkey parents, other monkey people. And anyways, long story short, I think jealousy got the best of some of them. Maybe it didn't. Maybe they don't like me. I'm an asshole. I'm blunt. I'm straightforward. Whatever it is what it is. I don't care. That's irrelevant to me. But our family is what we have continued to grow with TikTok. And now we have a group of probably 200 or 300 people that we classify as a core following, that if I went on TikTok right now and said, "Hey, we're in a major situation. We've got to go in for an emergency surgery, or our monkeys need this, or our monkeys need that, and we can't afford to get it or whatever. Our family pulls together, and within 20, 30 minutes, we've raised the money and we cover the cost. Every day I come home, I open up or I pull up at my mailbox, I'll have 10, 12, 20 packages sitting at the mailbox from Amazon where people have constantly um, sent gifts. And like in my foyer right here, we have a whole big old mountain of toys that are for our big enclosure that we're fixing to build our big enclosure.
That's so cool. I love
So
that.
yeah, so that's how it all started, and that's where Lando, which is Loxley and Oliver. So that's why it's called Lando, Loxley and Oliver. So one of our followers, she's a mod for us, and she's real big with my wife. They're friends. They talk outside the app. Um, she sent us a slogan, and the slogan was "All because of two monkeys." So our platform and our family all started because of two monkeys.
Yeah.
So we've taken those two monkeys and we have grown, and we own four of them that we purchased. The other 10 that we have taken in were all owner surrenders. We have taken those owner surrenders from people that either couldn't handle them anymore. They were constantly biting. They lived in illegal cities, whatever it may be. And we've taken those monkeys and they have followed in suit, and they have come all right into the whole uh, realm of what we do. Now they handle diapers, no problem. They all wear clothes, no problem. They all know the routine. They know every morning we get up, the spider monkeys go and get their butts changed and cleaned, and they go out to the outdoor enclosure for naked time, and they don't have to wear clothes while they're out there.
Yeah.
Um, the capuchins know that they get up if dad's at home. Um, dad's going to do diapers. We're going to do diapers on live with TikTok with the followers, and then dad's going to go cut up vegetables and fruit for breakfast, and then they're going to get to go outside and play on the back porch. So we have taken our home, which is 4,000 square foot. Our formal dining room has become an indoor enclosure. We don't no longer have a formal dining room. We have turned it into a complete enclosure.
Yeah.
Our kitchen breakfast area has been turned into an enclosure. We have two big enclosures in the foyer when you first walk in our house for two or for three of the small babies. So we've just grown, and we just continue to grow, and we continue to build the deal and focus on the monkeys. And the way we look at it is, if a call comes in tomorrow for another rehome, we'll take it. We'll figure out what to do.
Wow.
We'll if we've got to hire help, we'll hire help. We'll get donations, or we'll get volunteers, or just all kinds of different things. Just whatever it takes. We've got volunteers that come over weekly now, and they help my wife around the house. They may grab laundry from the monkey's laundry and go wash laundry at our house. They may go sweep the back porch. They may mop the kitchen. They just come over and they do so many different things.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
quick, before you go any further, guys, if y'all are in my live, remember, I'm in my live. I can't see her chat and she can't see my chat. Make sure you guys are following Sarah. Sarah does this content. This is her content. This is what she does. This is her platform and how she handles it. I'm a small creator on this app. I'm really a nobody on here. She asked us to, when we were talking about it, Erin mentioned that she thought I would be a good interview because I don't have any limits. I don't have any stipulations. I don't care. I'll answer the questions. So Erin thought it'd be great for Sarah to come in and go, hey, let's grab this guy and put him on the spot. So here I am.
She was a great interview. Her and Mandy, they were so fun.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I guess let's get into so how do you handle any potential conflicts between the monkeys and guests? What does that look like, as a guest?
So obviously, when you come here to hang out with the monkeys, you sign an insurance waiver for us because that is part of our deal. We
Yeah.
do have waivers and all of that. Before you are put in with monkeys, My wife will go through a lot of steps with you. She'll interact with you. She'll be involved. She is the primary handler of our monkeys.
Okay.
I'm a secondary handler. My son is a secondary handler. My stepson's a secondary handler. Any of our helpers are all secondary. My wife is primary on everything. When it comes to the monkeys, she takes control. She has full control over it. And it's as hard as it is for me because I'm an alpha, she's alpha. As hard as it is for me to step there and go, hey, that's her job.
Yeah.
I have to do that. And sometimes I catch myself not doing that and not respecting her position being in charge of that. So I have to remind myself that because, naturally a man, no, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. You're my wife. Like old fashioned ways, it's hard to die for. Now, my wife is very passionate about these babies. And she would give up anything and everything in this world for these babies, and it wouldn't matter to her. She would live in a tent underneath a bridge to raise these monkeys if that's what it took.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. So when you talk about conflicts with people, we step there and we go through that training and we work with those people first, and then we ease into it. We have monkeys that we know we know their thresholds. We know their buttons. We know their movements. We know their mannerisms.
Yeah.
Certain monkeys, you can walk in our door right now, and I've got two or three of them that I could turn loose with you right now, and I wouldn't worry about one thing.
Oh, okay. So I wouldn't even need any training going in for with those.
On some of them, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you would still have the basics, the basic knowledge of how to control them, put them in their place, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't worry about them putting teeth on you. We wouldn't worry about them any of that stuff. Now we've got some of them that like to show their assertiveness, and they'll put their teeth on you if you're not careful. They'll do all the different things to try to put you because what people have to understand is when you come in to deal with the monkeys, you are not alpha to them. They're here, you're here, and we're up here. So you
Right.
have to you have to own your place of being down here below them and understand that she or they are above you. And
Yeah.
so they try to boss it around. Loxley is world's worst. Like she will love most people she loves to death. She doesn't some kids she loves. Other kids she fucking hates. Like she doesn't want to deal with kids.
Yeah.
There's some kids she don't want to fuck with. And so we don't put her with some kids. And she lets us know. Like you see it. We've got a very good follower of ours who has she paid for an interaction, came down here with her and her daughters, and it was that's what she wanted and wanted and wanted and wanted. Her daughters have nothing to do with Loxley, nothing,
Okay.
because Loxley does not like them.
Yeah.
We have one of our other volunteers that lives down the road that comes over and volunteers. Loxley absolutely adores her daughter, loves her to death.
Love that.
She can handle Loxley. She can do anything she wants to with Loxley, and Loxley just loves her. It's something to do with the personalities. That's just what they like. That's just
Yeah.
what they like.
So, like, going into that, I mean, what kind of psychology, like, I guess, do you use for, like, the interactions? Because obviously, a capuchin, is that how you say it? Capuchin?
Capuchin, yeah,
Yeah, is going to be a lot different than, like, a dog or a cat, and, like,
yeah.
the way you handle that.
So it's the biggest thing for people to understand is our monkeys are very sensory driven. Okay,
Okay.
that any loud noises, sudden jerks, anything of that nature, they sense it. They react to it real quick. So the biggest thing that we try to preach to people when you come in is, look, guys, it's not about. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Just go in, stay calm, and let's start the interaction and go from there. And then we just kind of watch and we work with it. We don't just turn people loose with watch and we work with it. We don't just turn people loose with them because, for one, we have to be there to control for anything and everything. We're responsible for all public safety, no matter what, under all circumstances, no matter where we're at, what we're doing. Public safety is number one in anything and everything we do with these monkeys.
Yes.
It's the safety of the public before we can do anything to do with the monkeys or anything else. Secondly, it's the monkey's safety,
Right.
and then the people's safety. You know, the people that are interacting with them, it's their safety after that. So we want to make sure that the monkey's safe. You know, the public's safe from the monkey, but then we want to make sure the monkey's safe from the public as well as the interaction and everything that's going on. So that's kind of how that works.
Okay. Yeah. So like, I guess what I mean specifically is like, I mean, okay, have you ever had any mental health issues before? Like, have you,
Absolutely.
like, what about your moods? Like, you know, everyone has different moods throughout the day. Can you kind of tell, like, does that affect the monkeys at
Absolutely it
all?
does. Absolutely it does.
Like, how can you
If I'm in a
tell?
bad mood and me and my wife are arguing or we get into an argument or anything, the monkeys sense that. They sense it. They respond to that.
Yeah.
So you have to you know a lot of that mentality is that. Now my little girl Loxley and Oliver,
Hmm.
they sense my anxiety very very much so. So
Yeah.
when my anxiety gets up, Oliver will come grab me and he'll hug me and he'll kiss me and he'll love on my neck and he'll pet me and he senses that very much so. A lot of people don't notice that about him, you know, because like they don't see our interactions with him all the time. But like with him, when my anxiety is through the roof, he can really sense that stuff and he learns and he's learned that I can soothe dad, I can calm dad. You know, it's an unfortunate thing that you can't make a primate um, an emotional support animal. You can't do the support animals with them because they're not that of that nature. But they do understand that um, very very much, and it's very cool to see that ability in them to be able to see them respond to that stuff.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
we had we were in Tennessee and we had Oliver and Loxley in Tennessee with us, and we had one of our followers come and meet the monkeys, and this lady was terminal with cancer, and they knew it. They absolutely loved her and adored her and loved on her and just caressed her. And I mean, the woman just had tears just flooding her face because they didn't want to do anything but love her and just hold her. And they didn't jump around, they didn't do anything. They just loved her in that moment, and that was all they could do.
Yeah. No, that's so cute. That's so
Yes,
sweet. Oh my gosh.
yes,
What a good experience for her too.
yes.
Um, okay, so you talked about, you know, the maintaining safety with the monkeys and with the guests. Um, I guess so. Talk about what happened to you with like uh like your TikTok viewers reporting you and like you had to be searched for like specific infractions. Talk about that because that's just like I mean
So,
you had everything all good already.
oh yeah, yeah. So we have a group of people, and like I said, with love comes hate. Um, and with that being the case, we have had multiple people call and report us to CPS. They told CPS that my stepson was living with dangerous animals, and they feared for his life. And then we've had um, Parks and Wildlife, Animal Control, um, USDA multiple times. They did such a mass reporting to USDA that the USDA actually flew in a top level inspector, and they spent 8 hours in our house inspecting everything, everything. I'm talking from cabinets, food, cages, clothing, diapers. I mean, anything. Okay, 6 hours. My bad, Brady. 6 hours. They were here for 6 hours. and they went from inside the house, outside the house, into the monkey's house, into the outside enclosures, the back porch, into our travel enclosures in the car as well. The only infraction that we got hit for was our travel cages in the car. The monkeys could stick their arms out of while we were traveling, and that is an infraction.
Yeah.
So we fixed that and was able to get that rectified, and was able to take that was we were able to take care of that issue. So that wasn't a problem after that. So that was kind of the main thing, and it has been nonstop. Like and even to this day, just a couple nights ago, we got a phone call from the inspector that they had been mass reporting us again for a monkey that's here that we took in that had that's got a broken leg, and they think it needs to have surgery, but yet they don't know all the details. The monkey is nowhere near hardy enough to have surgery. The surgeon won't operate on him right now because he's not in the level to have surgery. So we're monitoring the leg and rehabbing him and going through the situation that we can right now until we get to the point of him being hardy enough to where possibly either it heals on its own or they have to go in and do the surgery at that point. It may never heal, and then eventually he'll be to a point where he can go and have the surgery. And so, we're raising money and getting the money put up for that, because that surgery alone is probably 10 grand.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it costs 18 grand just to adopt or take in, yeah, then I can imagine how much
and that's the cheap part. I mean,
yeah,
you got to think our life is 110% revolving around monkeys all day, every day, all day, every day. There's nothing that we do. Like me and my wife, if we wanted to go out to have dinner tonight, we couldn't. If we wanted to go to a movie, we can't. All the different things. And I want to address something real quick. Somebody just asked how, and this is a legitimate question, and I want to address this. Somebody asked, how do we control his pain with a broken limb? He's got pain medication. They do have medications for his pain, and they will, we administer his medications accordingly, through the vet, with the vet's recommendations to help him with the pain. The little guy, he's doing fabulous. He is thriving. He's growing. He's gaining weight. Yes, he's doing great. His dad gets updated videos. Yeah, no, I understand. It's just an honest question. I understand that. I know there was no harm there. That's one of the reasons
I think that's a pretty solid question, really. I mean,
yeah. Well, there's a lot of people, and like I told you, you're probably going to get a lot of hate questions, a lot of hate people coming through, and it is what it is. It's part of it. It's what we deal with in this life. I haven't always been the best person in front of this camera. I have been horrible, to people on this app. I've been horrible to followers in this app, and it sometimes gets the best of you whenever the drama gets to you, right? It's horrible. It gets to you, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then whenever you explode, the guy that comes out ain't always the best thing.
Well, so because I have to do my journalism.
Absolutely.
So I did see a snark account on Reddit with 942 members. That is absolutely insane. Like, I've watched some of your lives, and you have 942 people in there watching, like, supporting you, and then you have just as many over here having some negative crap to say, and it's all negative crap. It's not like I have not seen anything on there with substance. I didn't.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But
the problem is, and that's the thing. So if you go to our TikTok on Locks and Ollie, in Locks and Ollie is the monkeys page. You come in there the other day while I was actually cutting up vegetables the other morning. That page has 370 something thousand followers. So for every one hater, we have 1,000, probably 1,000 plus of good followers. And my wife tries to remind me of that every day. And it's hard for me because For the longest, I would get caught up and read Reddit. 2 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, I deleted the app, and I've not been back on there since. I couldn't tell you what the first post on there even is. I don't care. I finally give up on it, and I said, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care what people have to say. Their opinion about me, about my wife, is not our business.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to me, I am open and willing to talk to anybody and everybody. I have a platform. My mods don't block until I get tired of them, of somebody coming in there doing crazy shit, and then I tell them to block.
Yeah.
Other than that, my mods, she knows, and it drives her crazy sometimes because she wants to block, and I won't let her. So I only have 2 or 3 mods. I don't have a lot of mods, and I don't run a lot of mods. Now on the monkey page, we block a lot because there's a lot of kids that watch. I have to always remind myself to keep it very PG on that app. It's hard for me sometimes because I'll get out there, and I have to apologize to the moms, the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas, everybody out there with the grandbabies or the babies watching, because there is times I get out of line, and I try to correct myself, and I try to be uh, more presentable for them. And I do enjoy streaming. I do enjoy answering questions. I do enjoy having 800, 900 people in there asking questions and being able to talk and have a good conversation. But then being able to come over here to my app on my side and cut loose and be the guy that I want to be. If I want to talk about my spicy page, I can talk about my spicy page on here. If I want to do this, I got to keep my focus and keep it on my side versus taking it to the monkeys page, because sometimes I get caught up in the moment, and I do that, and so I have to always try to apologize, and keep everything, keep everything
PG
separated.
for the kids, you know?
Yes, yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Okay, so when I was scrolling on there, I saw something that said that you guys sent out cease and desist letters. Is that true?
Absolutely did.
Okay,
Absolutely
is
did.
that for Reddit specifically, or was that on your page, or like what is that entailing?
It had to do with Reddit. It had to do with a few of the ringleaders of the group. We knew who a couple of them were, and we sent that out, and we asked them to drop it. They went on live and just laughed about it, and at the end of the day, it did what they had to do, and it is what it is. Um, at the end of the day, those people are who they are, and they're going to be what they're going to be, and I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail about them. I don't. To me, that they don't deserve my energy anymore to go into that, and I'm going to keep it at that level, and try to stay away from that level with them. I wish them all the best. I wish they would. I wish they could find something better to do with their time, but unfortunately they can't, and it's okay. I don't care. Um,
Yeah. So does sending that out protect you guys from something? Like, what does that do for you?
well, the cease and desist letter, actually, that is actually handed over now. I actually have a lawyer on retainer now who is working through the backside of an actual case, and once they get everything situated and everything done, um, the case will be filed. And once it's filed and once it's gone through, then we'll go to court, and we'll go to court, and we will go from there. And I mean, and like I said, I'm not going to get into too much detail on that because it is under an investigation right now. It's a very active investigation, and I have a lot of screenshots, a lot of recordings, a lot of things, and that's why. And when you talk about karma and people getting theirs, uh, that it is what it is, right? People are going to get theirs, and they're gonna get it, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what like once again, you have to protect yourself. You can't,
Oh yeah.
and your family and your monkeys. I mean, you have a lot going on, and you have to be able to protect that. So I understand. Um, okay. So I kind of want to skip around a little bit. So,
Hey, this is your show. You do what you want to do.
yeah, yeah. So, what moved you to create an O only stands, maybe?
Let's talk about that. So originally it was back whenever I was in I was big on the Reddit page, and there were so many people talking and talking and talking. It started off as a joke, and
Yeah.
it started off as it started off as a joke.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, next thing you know, I started getting subscribers on there, and then I started getting requests for people to do, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you post this? Can you post this? And I'm like,
Oh.
why not? I mean, they're paying $15 a month to subscribe. I mean, okay, and they actually the haters actually subscribed um, to my page, took a screenshot of my picture. It got posted on Reddit.
Uh-huh.
I heard about it getting posted on Reddit, and then they actually emailed it to my old boss, and my old boss thought it was hilarious. So at the end of the day, like it is what it is.
Yeah. So with was that the okay? Because you said before that you were fired from a job, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that
So let me elaborate a little bit about that. So
okay?
I was um, I was on a TikTok live stream. So I carry a little tripod with me, holding for my phone, and I had my phone on the live stream, and I was running a crane, and I had it down in the floorboard. And a lot of people that follow me know that I worked in the oil and gas industry, and I was live streaming a job we were on. And when I was live streaming it, I was making the video. I was going to basically take it and make a big deal showing of how a drilling rig raises the derrick up and down, and how you put the rig together and all that different things. I was going to make a deal. I was going to take basically edit that whole deal and do all that. Well, anyways, long story short, me personally, I come from management and sales. I know better than to be on live stream. So I'll take full responsibility for it myself. I got myself fired by being on the live stream, but they took screen recordings of it and mass reported it to the drilling contractor. Otherwise, nobody would have ever known anything about it. Which is, hey, if that's what you feel you need to do, you go right ahead and do that. That's another karma situation, and at the end of the day, I'll take full responsibility for it. It's okay. I can live with the consequences of what's going on, all that good stuff, and they um, at the end of the day, whenever you step back and you look at it, you go, you know what? It's a job. We'll get another job, and I'll move forward.
Yeah.
Where
So
one door closes, another one opens.
absolutely, yeah, and I believe in karma too. Like that's my whole thing too. Like law of attraction and all of that. So it was sent to a different boss as well. Like, is
It
that
was sent, well, it was sent to the contractor that we were working for.
okay? Okay, okay. So that's how you got into it, and you still do it to this day, or
The spicy page?
yeah, you're a spicy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you like it? Like, has it kind of turned into like a fun thing for you? Like, how do
It's a
you
lot
feel?
of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
enjoy it.
And is it like full everything?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Oh
You're
yeah.
you're married, right?
Oh yeah.
So how does your wife feel about that?
Who do you think videos it?
How does she feel about it though? Like, obviously she's okay. Like, she accepts it, and if she's filming
It was
it,
her idea.
it was her idea.
Yeah.
I love that. That's okay.
Yeah.
That is a cool
Yeah.
relationship.
She has full access to it. 100%. She has the
Yeah.
login. She has the password. She has full access to it. I don't hide anything from her. She's allowed to go look at it anytime she wants to. Like anything she wants to see, anything she wants to reply to, she can go look at it.
No, that's like relationship goals. for me, to be honest. I need that like openness, that genuine affection. Okay, let's see. Mm, so
My wife's probably in there going, "You son of a bitch."
I mean, I didn't want to like force you to speak for her, but I mean, you guys are married, like you know how she feels about your
I love my wife to death. My wife is everything. But she how do you put this? My wife has taught me a lot in life.
good.
Put it
Yeah, I
that way.
think that's how it should be. I think relationships should be two
Yeah,
people helping each other grow in one way or another.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a lot of harassment that you've received just from being popular, just from growing your accounts, just from the support that you've gained. I think a lot of people on here that are successful have to deal with the exact same thing. Whatever way it looks like, people will always find a way, right? But it
Yeah.
stems from negative feelings of like jealousy or hatred or like all those they wish they could be you, so they'll try to hurt you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so what besides like them sending your OF photos and posting them and getting you fired and like reporting you for like potential infractions, like have you received any other harassment on this app? Like,
I mean, not really. I mean, it's all the same old bullshit. I mean, back and forth. It's just we don't. I don't really. Um, Everything else is just. I mean, they'll come in. They make comment or accounts after accounts after accounts to keep coming in to comment, and we keep blocking and blocking and blocking, and
okay,
when you get a 0 account that always comes in, you know what they are at that point.
we all get them.
How many
Okay.
people you got in your chat?
479, 480.
I got 470 on my side.
Yeah. So we have like 1,000 almost together.
Yeah.
Um. So okay. Do you know who Adrielle Sigler is?
Hmm.
Yeah, she kind of blew up a little bit for like the whole GoFundMe situation. Did you hear like about all of that? Do you know her kind of backstory or?
Not really. I didn't really ever get involved in watching that shit. Like I said, I don't really. Anytime I'm on TikTok, if I'm scrolling through TikTok, there's certain people that I watch, and that's a lot of the people that I battle with. Otherwise, I'm not even on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, valid. I feel like that's better for your mental health in general. But
Yeah.
so there were some haters on Reddit talking about GoFundMe's and you guys reaching out for help when you have like issues with monkey's health or anything that you guys need for your sanctuary.
So
Like, what do you have to say to them about that? Because
the only GoFundMe account we've ever set up, I recently just set it up, and I think it only has like $500 on it. It didn't take off big. I didn't push it hard. Um, Most people said, "Hey, we don't want to send to GoFundMe. We want to send you a Cash App instead." So they sent us a Cash App, and we did that, and we built it up that way. We don't classify ourselves as a sanctuary or a rescue. Um,
thank you.
could we be? That's a title. Like I don't want to. We don't really look for a title. Could we be classified as that? Absolutely, absolutely, we could. Could we go and set up a 501c3? Absolutely, we could go do all of that stuff. The reason we haven't is our CPA told us, look, because you're on TikTok, um, um, because you're on TikTok, because you're doing this, because you're doing that, we don't do the 501c3. Just keep it as whatever you want to call it. If we need to LLC it, we'll LLC it. Whatever we need to do, just to maintain the tax purposes, we'll do it that way. I pay so on my Cash App. everything that comes through, I pay taxes on. So even though it's a donation, I pay taxes on it. Everything that comes through on my PayPal, I pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
Everything that comes through on my Venmo, I pay taxes on it. So um, everybody, you know, they say, oh, well, they're getting all this free help and they're not paying taxes. No, I pay taxes on everything. I claim every dime that comes through, or my Cash Apps, GoFundMe's, all of that stuff. The GoFundMe that we have, we made it because of the little one that we have. When we found out that he was going to possibly have to have that surgery, it was going to be upwards of 10 grand. We decided, then, you know what, let's set up a GoFundMe and see if it raises enough money. Most people were like, hey, we don't even want to jack with that. We would rather just send it to you directly. You know, how do we do it directly?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. And somebody in the chat, I know you said don't read the chat, but somebody in the chat said that they asked you to make the GoFundMe. So it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like they wanted to send that.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people ask us to set up GoFundMes, set up this, set up that, do this, do that. And it's like we, in reality, so we get accused of all the time of using TikTok as scamming,
right,
taking money, all the different stuff. We don't like TikTok is a platform. It's a social media platform. It's a way that a lot of creators on here make money.
Yeah,
and when you look at how much money we actually make on TikTok, it's pennies. It's pennies. Like I had a full-time job. My wife had a full-time job. It was just recently that I lost my job. And my wife was laid off 2 weeks before I lost my job. Other than that, we've both had jobs this entire time, working a full-time job and supporting our monkeys. Yeah. At one point, I was working 2 full-time jobs and she was still working her job. And we still, whatever we made on TikTok, everything we made on TikTok went back into our monkeys. You know, we built a mobile enclosure that we can take to events. And the monkeys go in and they have their toys that they swing in and they hang out in, they play and do all the different things. It's like it's cool. Like it's a trailer. TikTok paid for that. They paid 100% of it. And then all of our followers said, hey, we want to donate toys to it. And they sent all these toys and we hung up all the toys in there for all these from all the followers. Yeah. We actually have a group of women. I don't know how many's on there or how many's in there. We've done, it's called the Lando Aunties. And so it's like a group of women that have claimed to be aunts to the monkeys.
Oh, aunts, like aunts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They call them the aunties or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
So they go in there and they did all of this stuff and they like we're in the process right now of building a 20-foot wide by 40-foot long, 20-foot tall enclosure outside for the monkeys.
That's so cool.
I have over $10,000 tied up in material right now, just in the panels that I built, or that we built. I can't say I built them, but one of the the dads for one of the rehomes has a trucking company across town. He has a welding shop. He had his welder build all of these panels for us at no cost. So he donated the labor and we built these panels. And now we're in the process of raising some more money because we've reached our budget. We've capped out the budget now. So we're in the process of raising more money now to bring in more funds because I got to pour concrete for it. I've got to pour the footings, and then I've got to build it and get it all built up, and then we've got to get it painted. We've got to get everything done because of how much work it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if your chat's getting crazy over there because I'm sure right now you got a lot going on in your chat.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a ton of work, a ton of resources, a ton of time. I mean, yes. I can only imagine.
I probably have probably another $8,000 left to spend on that or on that enclosure to get it finished up. And I think we've raised 5,000 so far is all we've raised.
That's so incredible. So you have it's locksandollie.com, right? That's your
That's a website.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there a way for people to donate to you there as well, or is that
No, we
merchandise?
don't. I haven't. So I'm not real good at building websites. I built that website one day when we were trying. We had a bunch of followers who wanted us to make cups and merch and different stuff. So we went in there and I threw that website together off of GoDaddy in about 3 or 4 hours one night, just sitting here at the house.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty solid. I mean,
yeah, and so
it's not
I literally,
expensive, but it's good.
yeah, like it's got a lot of work that needs to be done to it. I want to get an actual web creator or somebody that knows how to build the website and go in there and modify it and fix it and make it better for me so we can book the encounters where you can book an encounter to come see the monkeys and do all of that stuff. Put the donation links in there and do all of that stuff because right now I have a link tree in my bio and then the monkeys have a link tree in their bio where you can go and find it and actually do the donations there.
Okay.
And that's how we do it.
That's good. Yeah, your social media platform is so big that I feel like it's just probably more useful to do that anyways. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mhm. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Are you able to talk about what happened with Orion?
Um, so Orion now is Phoenix.
Okay.
So what I will tell you is he came from J Hop, and he had Josh woke up one morning and found him with a broken leg. And when he found the broken leg, they rushed him to the vet. The vet they took him to put a cast on his leg. Um, the fracture was a femur fracture. And for people that don't understand casting and all of that, you cannot cast a femur. The way you cast something, you cast it below the break and above the break to keep it immobilized. Well, on a femur, the only way that you can cast that would be going around his whole waist. Well,
Okay.
they put this monkey literally weighed, I don't even know if he weighed 2 ounces. I mean, he's little bitty.
Oh,
And they put a cast on it that weighed more than the monkey did. So in return, caused a pendulum. So the leg's broken and the whole bottom half of his leg is doing this because the cast is so heavy.
uh-huh.
It's causing issues. So it's rubbing. It caused a bunch of rub sores on his legs and all of that stuff. So when Josh found all of the issues with that, he called my wife and said, "I need you to get this monkey. Like he's in bad shape. I need you to get him." So we did everything we could. We rushed a transporter to get him. The transporter picked him up and drove him to our house. We got him to our house, and the very next morning we went straight to the vet with him and spent about $2,000 at the vet getting the cast cut off of him and getting him evaluated, getting X-rays, getting to see where he was at, what he was doing, and then called in the surgeon and had the surgeon come in and do all the different things. So with that happening, um, with that being the case, there was a um, hang on just a second. I'm sorry. With that being the case, we started taking the procedures to get him back healthy. And so right now, the surgeon said that femur may not ever heal. But until he gets to a certain weight level, a certain health level, he cannot go in for surgery because he will not. It's going to be a 5 hour long surgery.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard of
He,
that plenty of
he,
times.
he will not come out of that surgery. He won't make it. And I would rather, like my wife says, she says, I would rather have a monkey that I have to rehab back healthy than I would have to have one, than I would have to have a no monkey. So rather than any of that, we just did that. Guys, real quick, in my chat, We do not mention other creators' names in our chat. We're not going to put up with it. If you mention another creator in my chat, you will be muted. No questions asked. I do not talk about other creators on my platform. I'm not going to mention them in the chat. Please respect my mods and what they're asking y'all. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in here right now. If drama gets brought up and twisted, and it's not good, because I feel like you and I both have pretty good intentions here. So
yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'd like to get it all out, and that way move forward.
Yeah.
I know you probably got one of our biggest people over there on your side. I don't want her to sit here and think that I'm going to talk about her, because I have no intentions of talking about her, nor do I care to talk about her.
Okay.
So
I don't know who you're.
She knows who I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Phoenix. That's the monkey.
Yeah, that's what my wife and Josh's assistant. They changed his name to Phoenix because originally they were trying to figure out how to kind of keep it low key, I guess. And Phoenix, if you do the research about Phoenix, Phoenix is kind of a rise above, out of the fire of ashes, and it's kind of just a fresh start. So they wanted to try to give him a name that he could rise up, and I'm going to tell you, this little sucker, if he hadn't had the appetite that he has, I don't know if he would have ever made it. This little sucker eats like you wouldn't believe. Like, he eats nonstop. Like, he just loves to eat.
Cute.
Like a little fat kid in the candy store.
Yes. So, okay. So there were videos on Reddit that were kind of like saying that you were insinuating that there were issues from another creator.
Yeah. So originally when I went on there, I was trying to figure out how to talk about all the issues with him without trying to put blame and put fault on J-Hop.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, you don't want to put blame on him, because it's not anybody's fault. And so some of the words in my choice of words come out different, or come out wrong, or insinuating wrong, or insinuating however it was. With that being the case, I took heat. I'm sure you saw the video from Money.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I got all the respect in the world for that guy. I like that guy. I didn't have an opportunity to actually talk to him man on man off of the app. There's certain things that I'm not going to discuss on the app, and there's certain things that I will never discuss on this app about the monkeys, because one thing about people, they will twist in anything they can twist and make it look worse than what it really is.
Yeah.
And I sent that man my phone number, and I said, hey, here's my number. You're more than welcome to call me. If you want to have a conversation, here's my number. I am open 110%. You can call me anytime you want to.
Okay. That's respectable. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What happened with your blue pills?
So what's funny is, I went to Missouri to go pick up a retired breeding monkey. She's 20 something years old.
Okay.
And so on my way up there, my wife's like, do not say why you're going whatsoever. Okay, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
So on my way up there, I was on live stream, and people were like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you going to Missouri? Why are you going to Missouri? Well, the first thing that came to mind, fuck it, I'm going to make an adult film. So I told everybody I was going to make an adult film. So for 2 days, I lived that story. I told the lady at the checkout at the hotel that I was going to make an adult content film. I told the waitresses at the Cracker Barrel in Springfield, Missouri, that I was going to go make adult content. And then when I was sitting in my truck, I had a bottle. It's an Advil bottle. My truck, I had a bottle. It's an Advil bottle, a Aleve bottle, and it has Aleve is blue pills.
Yeah.
So I had that Aleve. I had the Aleve bottle in my truck, and I'm shaking, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I used to sell these things all the time for $25. You know, all this
I
other
thought it was
bullshit."
the other blue, the blue one that helps you, like, you
Yeah,
know?
that's what everybody thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my intentions were. So everybody's like, so they were screen recorded this. They're like, oh, we're sending it to the authorities. We'll send it to the authorities because when they come, I'm gonna hand them the bottle out of my truck that's got the Aleve pills in them. They're gonna open it up and look at it, and they're gonna go, they're fucking Aleve. Are you kidding me? Like, there's nothing illegal about selling Viagra pills, anyways. Even if I wanted to sell, if I had them and wanted to sell them, there's nothing illegal about selling
Oh,
Viagra.
really?
No,
That's allowed?
it's
I thought
they're
you can't. I thought you can't sell any like prescriptiones, right? Like,
I don't know that. I'm just saying, like, they're not regulated. I can literally go down to the doctor and tell them I want a prescription for them, and they'll give them to me if I wanted them.
yeah.
Like, you may not be able to sell them. I don't know. I don't have
But
them.
you
I don't.
didn't, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Like,
yeah. I don't have them, but it's
it's a
all
cover
content,
up.
right? It's all content.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a cover up.
and so, like, to me, it's fucking hilarious because they took that and they ran with it. They ran with it. And when they run with that shit, dude, they go and go and go and go and go and go. And
Yeah.
dude, I laugh at it. Like, I think it's fucking hilarious. Because like, I could literally go on here and I could say anything in the world, and they're gonna just run with it. They're gonna run and they're gonna run and they're gonna fucking run. And sometimes I give them a little more than what I probably should, but it's to me, I end up finding it amusing.
It's social media, man. I don't know, but it's like
Yeah.
that's the crazy part, though, too. When you do have
Well,
all these haters, like,
so, like, whenever I made the comment about going and doing the video up there, my DMs blew up, like, with people going, "Hey, so y'all are into this? Like, what do we got to do to book a trip? What, like, can I do a video? Can I do a video?" And I'm like, "Hey,
oh dang! Wait, okay, that's another question. So, like, no, I mean it's a genuine curiosity. Obviously, like, your wife's okay with you posting these things. I haven't looked at any of your content. Well, like, stuff. Do you do that with other people, other women, other relationships, like anyone else?
so there's no videos, posted of that.
Okay,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
okay, okay. So it's on the table, but not for the public eye, maybe?
I'm gonna leave it at there's no videos. There's no videos posted.
Okay, he's gonna leave
I,
it.
I, I I've always been told you don't kiss and tell.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Okay. I might almost be done with this segment. Let's see. So, okay, what's the most memorable or unusual experience a guest has had while staying at your bed and breakfast?
Well, we don't really have a bed and breakfast. We don't. It's not classified as a bed and breakfast. What we classify it as is an interaction. Um, Most interesting experience.
Or unusual, like just insane, I guess. Just crazy.
I don't know that anybody's had any of them.
Okay, that's good.
Like, anybody that's come and stayed here, they've accidentally loved. They've loved everything about it.
That's good. That's good. Okay. So, so I saw a video of, and it was a clipped video. It was a very short clipped video, but it was you battling somebody who's deaf. Have you seen that clip? Maybe?
I don't really know. I've battled so many people, and so when you get to the battles about this and that, blah 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 blah, like, I don't know that one per se, but there's probably another one you saw where we talked about. Um, where I said window lickers and all kinds of different things. I don't know if you saw that one. Um, that was about we actually had a follower that came in who was autistic supposedly, sent my wife a very hateful death threat message.
Oh.
And they only clipped what they wanted to clip out of the video, which is fine. And what I said was in that video, I had mentioned on there that I didn't care if she was autistic, if she wore a fucking helmet, ate crayons, or licked the fucking windows. That is not appropriate to send those type of messages to anybody. Yeah. But they wanted to clip out what they wanted to make me look like some kind of ugly ass. Yeah. And that's okay. I don't care because I live by what I said, and it's 110% the truth. You don't threaten anybody on that aspect of it. You know, and people will tell you all the time, oh, I make threats all the time. I don't make threats. I make promises. Yeah. What I say is a promise. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to live by it.
Okay. Okay.
So, you know, and that's just part of it.
Yeah. So you personally don't feel like you have anything against like any marginalized group? Like
no, not at all. I actually, to be honest with you, would prefer to support the people with the handicaps, the disabilities, all those things. I would rather support them than I had anybody. The single, you know, one of the hardest things for me when I'm scrolling through TikTok is to see a single mom on here struggling, and she's on TikTok and talking, and her kids are in there with them. You know, like the other day, I had this little girl or this lady on here. I can't say little girl. She was a lady. She had a young man who was 5 years old, and he was answering questions for her for the chat. And the chat was asking. She said, "Hey, ask him any capital of any state in the country." So people would ask him, "Hey, what's the capital of Georgia?" And boy, he'd rattle them off. And I'm like, dude, stuff like that really hits me to the heart.
Well, right. Yeah, me too. I feel like
readdress the deaf person. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean by the deaf person. I don't understand. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, so there was, okay, so basically well, maybe I can pull it up. I can't show it on here, but I could play the sound of it. Hold on. 1 second. Okay.
That motherfucker! Bad guy. What? I'm not doing anything. It's my life and not yours. I am on my account.
Oh, I'm drunk as fuck in that video.
I love how you can tell, like, immediately. Like, I know myself too. When I'm
like, I'm drunk as fuck in that video. Like, I drank a whole bottle of vodka that night.
Yeah, when I've had a few, I know exactly when I've had it. Like, I can look back. Yeah. Oh my gosh! But okay, let me just play this.
I'm on my account. Y'all don't let me lose to this deaf guy.
Well, he was deaf. Like he had it, like he was literally just sitting there, like doing nothing, wouldn't say nothing. I'm like, is he deaf or what the fuck's his deal?
So there's one little part of this that I want you to hear, though. So let's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all let me lose to a fucking deaf guy, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm just gonna log off and go to fucking bed if y'all let me lose. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I mean, I feel like you were just you were hyped, you know. I don't know. I could see both sides.
We're just battling. I mean, you know, that's a typical battle. I mean, we run battles, and then I don't think I was saying anything inappropriate about him, about his disability. If he was really deaf, I mean, he's on the other side of a screen. I don't know the man, right? I don't know. It's bantering. When you go into a chat, of course, yeah, there's alcohol involved, and whenever alcohol is involved, you obviously don't put on the best show in the world. And you could hear my wife in the background saying, Like, shut the fuck up already. Like, my wife knows when I get to drinking, like there's a certain point, there's a certain point that like old Greg needs to be shut off. Like, whenever that gets to that point, like that's it.
So do you feel like
You know,
with that you were kind of, it was a little bit over the top then? Like you feel like you were a little.
yeah, probably. I mean, I probably was. I mean, but like I said, when you drink as much as we drank that night, it was a good time. We were having fun on live, and you know, that's the night I twerked on the chair. Yeah, I probably did twerk on a chair. No,
Wonderful.
where's that screen recording at? I get it. That's the fun stuff, right? Um, but you know, at the end of the day, we get to have we get to have fun. We try to have fun. Sometimes I'm guilty of it as much as anybody, getting out of line, out of control, and being hateful and ugly. In the same night, I had some other goon come in there, and they tried to paint me as a racist person, which I'm not racist.
How did they do that? How did they try to do that?
If you scroll through, you must not have found that video. Um,
Nope.
I don't remember what that goon's name is.
You have to remember, I mean, like, there are 942 members of this page, and I swear to you, there are at least 10 posts a day, dude. So it's hard to, you know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, I'm just like, okay, well, I can only know so much.
And when you actually scroll through it and go, what is actually solid out of this?
Yeah, right.
And most of it's diarrhea of the mouth.
So how did they try to paint you as
So some goon, I can't remember what his name was. He came into my chat and he tried to tell me he had a fucking report about me or something about. And so, anyways, he tries to do all this stuff. Well, then later on, he comes back and requests me again. And of course, by this time, I'd already had a lot to drink at this point,
yeah.
and I started to say something very inappropriate. But I didn't. I stopped myself,
Okay.
and I didn't say it, and I just disconnected from him.
What did you? Oh, well, I guess you can't say whatever you were gonna say.
No, I definitely will not say it. But they tried to paint me as a racist person, and one thing about me is I'm not racist. I treat everybody with the same, and I will always tell you that guy knows how to start drama for viewers. Yeah. Yeah, he don't do it to other big creators because he knows.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is for the life of me. You know, the thing about me, the same person you see right here on this screen is the same person. If you met me in person, is the same person.
I can tell you have a big heart, man. I can
Yeah,
just tell.
I 100%. I'd give you the shirt off my back in a heartbeat, and that's just the way that what I am.
BB Gaming?
Yes,
Guys, BB Gaming, his entire content is trolling creators. Like
yes, that's the guy.
That's I mean, and well, I don't know if he'll own up to that, but if you watch him for more than 2 minutes, I mean.
Yes, that's him. That's him. And he come back after I had already been liquored up, and boy, I almost, but I didn't. I stopped, and I disconnected, and my wife was
I'm
pissed.
glad.
My wife was pissed because she knew where it was going. And the thing about me, the thing about me is when I get to a certain point, I just don't give a fuck. I don't. And some of the things that I'll say could be horrible. And I get it. Like I have said some horrible things about other creators on here. Even my troll, the haters, you know, the people that don't like me, I've said some things about them. And can I own that? Absolutely, I can. I can, 100%. Would I truly mean half the things I said to them? No, I wouldn't, because you know, I understand they have their life. They may be going through something in their life, and at the end of the day, whatever happens, right? But nobody's going to judge me other than one man. I'm going to answer to one man, and when I leave this world, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to matter. What I did on this earth isn't going to matter. You know, it's just the way it is. And that's what I try to be. When you talk about mental health, you talk about the disabilities on here. I'm very passionate for people that have a disability. I'm very passionate for people that struggle with mental health. You know, men's mental health is a big thing.
Yeah.
March 1st of last year, I tried to end my own life. I spent 4 days in the hospital.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Um, it's okay. It is what it is. I tried that because I thought that I didn't need my anxiety medicine. I thought I didn't need this. I thought I didn't need that. And I wasn't on it. I didn't have insurance to go to the doctor. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. So I just didn't do it. And when it all boiled up and it all blew up and it all come to terms, I was like, wow. Like, so now I went back to I go back to my psychiatrist now every 3 months. I go through everything um, that I need to do. I handle everything accordingly, and walking away from the hate and the Reddit and all the bullshit that I walked away from 2 months ago was the best thing I ever did because it cleared my mind because I was so worried about all what they were saying, like it was driving me nuts. Like it was literally, I would look at it and I'd look at it and I'd look at it, and it was driving me crazy because I was like, you know, why do they say this stuff? You know, when they don't really know me, they know what they see me on
It's not
they
real.
they see me on you know they see me on a live stream for a few hours and they think they know me. They don't know shit about me, and you know, and then so that would eat on me, and then the body shaming about my wife. You know, I think my wife's the most beautiful woman in the world. I love her with all my heart.
Yeah, of course.
And she's my wife. Like I chose to live the rest of my life with this woman. Have I been hateful to her? Absolutely. I'm a dick. But you know, we get to move on. We get to go that. But at the end of the day, would that woman do anything in the world I needed her to? Absolutely, she would. Would I do anything in the world she would, or she needed me to? Absolutely, I would. Um, and that's why we have 13 monkeys. That's why we live the life we live. And that's why we have the support and the nation of people behind us that we have. Because people see the truth when they get to know who I am. And there's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for anybody.
Yeah.
And the haters are gonna your chat's gonna blow up over there. They're gonna be like, oh no, he's not. He's just spinning narratives, or he's doing this, or he's doing that.
You're speaking your truth. If it's up to everybody to believe whatever you want to believe.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
But
But I just
you're
know
speaking
how I
your
just know how they
truth.
yeah, I just know how they are. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. You know, I got so much grief over getting this chair. You know, this chair is the same chair that Josh Hopkins J Hop has.
Okay.
Well, when he came to my house on Christmas, you know, Josh was so. For those of you that don't know, Josh had a monkey before Phoenix. His name was Brutus.
Uh huh.
Josh woke up one morning and Brutus had passed in his sleep.
Oh. Oh my gosh, that's.
I had never met Josh a day in his life. I found, and Josh had just come into our life because he was working with Brandy, trying to get information about Brutus, trying to learn and learn and learn and learn. And so he was listening and learning and learning and learning. And when that happened, he started bawling. And I mean, he just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And Brandy had been through there. I was there when Brandy went through it with hers. I was on my way home from work in West Texas. It was on a Friday. I called my wife and I said, look, this guy has nobody. I'm going to Florida. She said, what do you mean? I'm flying to Florida. I'm going to fly to Florida. Find me a flight tonight. I need to go to Florida.
Oh.
And she said, what for? I said, because I'm going to go be with him. Never met the dude in person, ever. Never. I literally got on. I didn't have any clothes with me. I didn't have anything with me. I went to a Western wear store. I bought me a couple pairs of jeans, a couple shirts, some socks. I went to the mall and I grabbed a suitcase, throwed it all in there, bought an airplane ticket, jumped on the first flight out of San Antonio, Texas. I landed at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he called me at 5 o'clock, and he's like, "Bro, don't come." I said, "Dude, it's already too late, motherfucker. I'm sitting in the airport waiting on a plane." He goes, what do you mean? I said, I'm waiting on the airport. I said, I'll tell you
Was
what,
he
if you
okay
don't,
with it? Were you stepping over boundaries, or was he like,
at that point, there was no boundaries. The man needed somebody. He
oh,
needed somebody, and I seen it, and I felt it. And so I jumped on a plane, and I went. And I told him, I said, if you don't want me at your house, that's fine. I understand. I'll rent a hotel room, but I will be right there if you
yes.
need me. You just call, and I'll be right there. He said, no, you're not renting a hotel room. He said, here's my address. Come to my house. So I got an Uber, and I went to his house at like 1:30 in the morning. I was in this man's house for 13 hours before I ever met him in person.
Oh, what? Wait, what? He trusted you, I guess. Like,
Well, he was. I mean, I just sat there. It was quiet. It was dark. I sat right there on his couch, and I didn't do anything. I just sat there,
okay.
and I waited on him.
Uh-huh.
And one about midday, he come out of his bedroom,
Oh,
and
I see.
he's standing on his back patio, and I'm sitting in his kitchen, and he sees me, and he just waves at me. So I walk outside, and at that first time, two grown ass men embraced for a hug that we'd never met, and we hugged like we'd known each other for years. And he cried, and I cried, and I loved him, and I told him, I said, look, dude, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. And I just loved him. And not one time did I talk about TikTok. Not one time did I talk about, oh, hey, we need to go live and talk about being here. That's not what it was about. I didn't go for J Hop. I went for the man. They called his name is Josh Hopkins, and he's known as J Hop on this app. I went for that man.
Yeah.
He's a fellow firefighter, and a firefighter. Um, Once a firefighter, always a firefighter. I'm a firefighter. I've always been a firefighter. I'm a firefighter EMT. I carry my certificates. I keep my certificates up every year. Once you're a firefighter, you're always a firefighter. You never leave a brother behind. And my brother at that point in his life needed somebody to be there. So I jumped and I went and I landed and after we hugged, he went back to his room and cried some more. And I just sat there. I said, I'm here if you need me. And I just sat there. Later on that evening, he come back out and he hugged me again. And he said, dude, I'm going to tell you, I've never had anybody just drop and run to me like you just did. And he said, you have no idea what that means. He goes, do you mind if I go live and show you on my live stream? I said, and if that's what you want to do, I said, we don't have to. I don't need to be like, I didn't come for recognition. I didn't come for anything other than my brother needed a man. My brother, yeah, my brother needed love, and that's all I went to, and I did that for my brother, and uh, he was so moved, and we played air hockey together. He had an air hockey table in his house, and he's like, dude, I've never got to use this. Let's play it. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we played air hockey on his live stream. We had fun. We laughed. I got to see him laugh, and I brought some more emotion, some good stuff out of him, and we got him going. And he Christmas was coming, and I told him, I said, hey, you don't have family. My family is in Oklahoma. I don't talk to my family. I said, why don't you come back to Texas? Come spend Christmas with me and my wife.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So I invited him and his assistant down for Christmas, and they came and spent Christmas at our house right here. And he live streamed with the monkeys. He laughed. He cut up. He had the time of his life. And I mean, it was the best thing in the world to see him smiling and to have a good time and do the things that we did. And truly got to see a true man and a true friendship in the bond and everything that happened. So that was a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next segment of this. There so okay. I don't have a ton of names. I usually have a whole list of names of people. Basically what I do is I just say the name and you give me whatever experience or opinion you have on them, whatever experiences you've had with them, on TikTok or wherever.
Yeah.
But I really don't have that many. I have 5 on here. So if anybody in the chat wants to put a name, then you can. I'll read that. Like you were saying, you don't even know like Adriel Sigler or whatever. You don't keep up with a lot of that stuff. So, um, okay. Here's my first name, Tiger King.
I seen the show. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was like a funny like
Yeah, like
yeah.
whenever you think about Tiger King, being from Oklahoma, so I was born and raised in Oklahoma, and so I think about the Tiger King, and I'm like, them poor bastards painted such a hell of a picture of all of us Oklahoma people. It's like you sons of bitches. Like, why would y'all? Why like? That's the part of Oklahoma we don't even associate with. Like they're like they got their cousins' brothers are married to each other. You know?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, like that's the weirdos.
Yeah. Okay. Gonzo, do you know who that is? Gonzo Gone Wild, I think.
So I don't know who that is. That's one of my haters. I mean, obviously, you went and watched the videos on that page.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the haters. It's one of the snarks that has went in and made all these snippets of all these videos. It's a shit show just watching them, and it's all like I said. You know, you can twist any of it that you want to twist, and like I said, I'll answer for any of it that's on there. I don't mind answering for any of it.
Yeah. I mean, you already kind of, you literally just talked about J-Hop. So I guess, do you have any like final remarks about J-Hop?
That's my brother.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. That's my brother.
Alpha Mr. Best.
Oh, that's a fucking shit show on his own. The only time I've only been live with him like once, and he wanted to try to instigate some drama right out the door, just because that's his mo. And when I fired back at him, he didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, fired back. Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah.
You already said all money a little bit, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe his real name is Anthony, and I prefer to address him by his name as Anthony because, like I said, I have that respect for that man because he. I wish we could have an actual conversation face to face, you know, on the phone or whatever. Because, like I said, I think if he understood understood more about what was going on versus what come out on a video, versus what come out on a video, I think it'd be all right. But at the end of the day, he chose to address it the way he did. You know, I kept my composure. I did not lose my cool in that interaction on that video, and I left it at that. And I respect the man and his opinion, right?
Yeah, of course. Somebody said Debbie the Pet Lady. Guys, you can put any name in the chat if you have
Debbie the Pet Lady. Hey, you should have seen that battle. That was a fun one. I don't know anything about the lady, so I've seen so many different people, and somebody come in my chat and said, "Hey, say Dixie." So I said Dixie, and this chick she flipped the fucking light switch like, pooh, like pooh.
Yeah, I don't know what that means to her. So.
I don't either, but like she lost her shit. She blocked me and everything, and I'm like,
oh no, it must be like a hater or something.
I guess I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Our Life Adventures. Do you know? Is that an account?
That's another monkey account. I don't know much about them. I know they have an amazing platform with their monkeys. They do amazing things with their monkeys. I don't know. I don't know their names. I couldn't tell you their names if they walked in the door. I wouldn't know what they look like. Like I said, I don't really follow a lot of other monkey people on here.
I mean, you have enough going on. You know what I mean. You have a lot of work just at home. So everyone keeps saying Hope. I don't know who that is either. So
that's the young lady that I was talking about earlier. She is one of the. I don't know what her deal is or why she wants to be so involved in our platform, but she is one of the head. Has to be she's one of the main leaders of the Snarks, right? And so at the end of the day, you know, whatever it is with her, it is what it is. Like I've said my pieces about her, and and at the end of the day, I won't um, I won't say anything else
Okay. Yeah.
because
Um,
like I said, there's a lot of other things on the backside that we talked about earlier that I can't.
I understand. Yeah. No, there's no pressure to, even if you're like, I want to pass or something, you can say that too. So there's
Yeah.
yeah. Rich the Hungry, I've seen that a couple times.
So when we first got our platform going, so he was a homeless guy who my wife followed on TikTok, and he had a pretty good sized platform, and he used platform for panhandling basically, and people sent him money on there, and that was, hey, that's fine, that's what they do, that's what TikTok is. um
It's
he
one side of TikTok. That's one side of TikTok. Not
Yeah,
every,
yeah, that's one side of TikTok.
yeah.
He was living in a van, and his van had a lot of issues. Well, we invited him to come stay for Christmas because he was homeless. Like, so he came to our house. He parked his van in my driveway. He slept in my driveway. Um, he come to our house for Christmas. He got to hang out with us for Christmas. He has no family. Like, we brought him in, and then while he was here, I paid all of my mechanics to work on his van. I paid my carpenters to basically tear out the whole back half of his van, build a complete bed frame in there to where he had storage underneath his bed. He had a nice bed. We raised a bunch of money, got him a nice mattress. I mean, we did all kinds of cool stuff for him. I got him a cell phone booster. We installed it in his van, so that way he had a cell phone where he could, because TikTok was his way of making money to travel. And so we got him a cell phone booster, so he'd always have cell phone service everywhere he went.
Oh, I love that.
And so that was, and man, dude, we caught so much fucking hell because we helped this guy.
Wait, why?
Like, that was the start. I don't know. That was the start. It seemed like that was the start of our snarking and hating and everything. And then from there, it just blew up. Because, like, I've probably paid out more money helping people on TikTok than I have anywhere else. Like, they're one of our snarks, believe it or not, lives in Canada. I went live one night. She was having issues. Couldn't take care of her. Something happened, lost her kid or something, didn't have a vehicle. I don't remember the whole story. But I said, you know what? I'm going to battle tonight, and whatever money I raise, I'm going to match it dollar for dollar, and I'm going to send it to her tonight. So we battled. I sent this woman, didn't even know her. I sent her like $1,500 or some shit on live to Canada through PayPal, and did all of that on live stream. And then this woman turned around and went to snarking on us.
Oh.
And it's like, what the fuck?
Well, to be fair, I mean, this is just my opinion, right? You can help anybody, but you can't control what they do from there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's why, and like I said, I don't even talk about shit like that. I don't care about any of that stuff. What I choose to do or who I choose to help is on me.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, we go, we do this, we that, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I've seen Mom of the Bees a few times. Do you know who that is?
Mommy of the Bees. It's Mommy of the Bees.
Yes, Mommy of the Bees.
If you've never checked out Mommy of the Bees, that'd be a good interview for you. She's fucking crazy.
Oh.
So my wife follows her. We love her to death, but she's crazy.
I am too. I am too.
She suffers from anxiety, like high driven anxiety. Like, this is the most anxious woman I think I've ever met in my entire life. Okay. And she came to our house and stayed, and she's crazy. Like she's awesome. Got the best husband in the whole world. I had to go to work, and so he spent a whole day in my kitchen cooking. He fed everybody in the house. Like, they went to the grocery store, bought groceries. Like, they didn't have to do any of that stuff. But yes, she is so crazy. But she built a tree house in her backyard because her content is trashing, and her husband was like, "I'm tired of you trashing my house. I'm building you a fucking treehouse." So he built her a treehouse so she could trash the treehouse.
That's fun. That
Yeah,
sounds. I mean, like that's like the good kind of crazy in my like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the kind of crazy I want to hang out with, you know. So
Yeah, she is wild. She is wild, and like I said, bless her heart. She's welcome at my house anytime she wants to go.
okay, guys, we're gonna do one more name. So everybody put a name in the chat, and I'll read the one that comes up the most. Okay, and then we're gonna move on here. One more name. Um, I've seen Tori quite a bit.
That's just Hope's sister. That's all that is.
Okay.
Hey, Robin, remind me to block Lexi Black from now on. She's no longer allowed in my chat.
Cuckoo, that's so funny. Cuckoo said Johnny Sins.
Who?
Don't worry about it. Okay. No, Johnny's it's you don't know who Johnny Sins is? I'm glad you don't know who that is. I'm glad you don't know. Okay. Guys, one more name? One more name? Anybody? Welder. I've seen Welder a couple times.
Oh, Welder's my boy.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we do a lot with Welder. Welder is Welder's awesome. He's I don't know if you've ever met Welder, watched Welder's live streams.
I think so.
He's just a big old country boy. He's down to earth. He's like I am. Um, TikTok is his way of making a living. You know, he does it. He does a lot. So
Yeah. Okay. So I do this segment. It's called Toxic Questions. We don't have to do it if you don't want to, because you did mention you don't want me to like read anything from the chat to you, like as the questions. I've gone through basically almost every. I mean, there are some little bits and pieces that I could ask you, but Toxic Questions is a really good way for the chat to get engaged into the interview as well. It's like kind of, in my opinion, what sets my interviews apart from like.
yeah, the problem about, like I said, the problem with that is obviously with who you have in your chat. It's gonna be twisted.
Okay.
And so that's going to be one of the situations I'm not going to, that's what I was telling you, right? Where if we get into bringing the chat into it, that was the only stipulation I had because of that. Because I told you, as soon as we got on the deal, I knew damn good and well who all was going to be there.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So I can like piece apart which ones are respectful and which ones are disrespectful if you want to do it, and if you just don't want to. I mean, it's like 5-minute battle. It's like 500 quiet game. Except whoever's in the lead, like if your chat has more points, then you guys ask me questions, and if my chat has more points, then I ask you guys questions. But it's up to you. We can do it or we can not do it. So
I'm gonna ask my chat. What do y'all want to do?
I feel like I'm a very respectful person, and I can kind of like see the difference between bull
Yeah,
crap.
my chat said my chat says no.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to remember. So most of the people that have been in our around our family have dealt with the hate and the like. We've actually had people where the haters have went to them and told them, if you don't start snarking them, we're going after you next.
Yeah, you're not the first. You're not the first person I've seen that with. It's pretty unfortunate. Okay, everyone's saying saving Cohen before we.
That's my granddaughter.
Oh. Okay.
My granddaughter has a year ago she was diagnosed with inoperable brain tumor, and because we don't just so we raised, man, I can't even give you a number. I can't even give you a number. It's so high. how much money we raised for my baby girl. Um, my wife has older kids. She has an older son and an older daughter. Um, her older daughter lives in North Texas. And a year ago on Christmas, rather the day before Christmas, she was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor.
Wow.
She's
Wow.
on a trial program with St. Jude. They travel back and forth to St. Jude every month. And because we used our platform to raise money, we were targeted as such hated people that we didn't sell off everything we own and give them all of our money. Sell our house, sell everything that we own to give them our money. And it's like we still have a life. I still have a 15-year-old stepson that we have to raise. We still have our monkeys that we have to raise. But because we did all of that, they targeted us and they said that we were hateful and we were sorry, no good parents. And I mean, they've said so much shit about us.
Yeah.
And, she's basically my stepdaughter. They talk about my chair, $3,600 I spent on myself to buy this chair.
Yeah.
You know what? That's my money. I did that for me to sit in this chair.
Is she
Because
getting all the care that she needs?
yes, she gets all the care she needs.
Yeah.
And so
then I don't see
so
a problem. Like
there's not a problem. It's just their way of
there's always something. There's always
they attacked my stepdaughter, Amber. They attacked everything. They drugged her dad's side of the family into it and got them attacking us. Cohen is 2 now, I think. 2. And she gets to live the rest of her life with a brain tumor now that's inoperable. Fortunately, it's not growing. Fortunately, she's still mobile. She's still functional. Everything, it's on the back of her brainstem. She is able to still live somewhat of a life. We don't know. We don't know how long she's going to be able to live with it. But we get to know every day that we've done our best to support this little girl and love her till there's no end. And unfortunately, God is the only one that can answer the prayers. And we pray every day. Her sister Harlow, she has an older brother too, Porter. Harlow was my first I consider her my first actual granddaughter. When I came into Brandy's life, Harlow was 3 months old. And Harlow absolutely is my everything. I love that little girl. I would move the fucking world for that baby. I would fucking do anything in the world for that baby. She is my everything. And her sister, unfortunately, thank you, J Hop. I wish you'd have been here earlier. We were just talking about you. Cohen hasn't got to spend those times with me that Harlow has got to spend with me. When Harlow lived with us, I had a small construction company and I was doing demolitions. And her biggest thing is she knew what an excavator was. I had an excavator and I would do demolitions where I would tear houses down. And I would take this baby girl. I would take this baby girl to work with her. Mama would bring her and I'd put her up on the excavator and let her tear down houses with me.
That's so fun. What a memorable experience. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would have.
And she, like I said, and she remembers that to this day. And she knows she has me wrapped around her little finger. She can pick up the phone and she can call me and she can say, Greg, I really need this or I really need that. And I don't give a fuck what it costs. I don't care what it is. I'm going to get it for that little girl. Yeah. And so I do the same for her little sister because they're my whole world. They're my grandbabies. And, Amber, unfortunately I don't get to see them near what I want to, and I don't get to spend the time with them that I want to. They love the monkeys. The monkeys are there, like they absolutely adore them, but they are, they're everything, for me. And it sucks because I don't get to see them like I want to. I don't get to spend the time with them, and I don't get to love them like I want to be able. I just have to love them from afar, and it sucks because it's so hard. It's so hard, and especially not knowing what life really holds. You know,
Yeah.
so that's the saving Cohen. That's what saving Cohen is. So my stepdaughter has a page. It's on here. It's called Saving Cohen, and they track the story of Cohen and the story of going through all of that stuff.
Yeah. Guys, everybody follow that account. Saving Cohen. Is that the exact account? Like at Saving Cohen?
Yep.
Okay.
Kohen.
Yeah. Everybody go follow that account. That just melted my heart. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're awesome. You're doing great work. Keep it up. Don't listen to the hate. It's all bullshit. You already know. And I think, I think to your point about not looking at it at all, like this goes for anybody. When you're taking in negative content, things that are not like mentally stimulating, it's just brain rot, things that are, just purely like negative and hateful, then that's the way that you're going to start to think in general. And it can drive somebody to want to harm, like it's not okay. So
Yeah.
I think just guys pay attention to like the positivity because so much out there, and I'm glad that you got off of that app and you don't look at that anymore because
It took a long time, and I'm going to be honest with you. That app caused a lot of marital problems between me and my wife. I actually started judging my wife based off of what people were fucking saying about her, and it, dude, I was like, what in the fuck am I doing? Like, why? Why are you doing that? And so for me to have to step back and get control over my thought process and finally go, you know what?
Yeah.
Eat a bag of dicks, motherfucker. Like that's just what it was.
Well, I mean, it poisons your mind, okay?
Yeah.
Like, people think that your mental health and your physical body aren't connected. Dude, I mean, your brain is in your body. Like, this is all connected. This is the time that you're spending paying attention to things. That's your brain, okay? You're taking in whatever content, whatever information. So
Absolutely.
just make sure it's good. It's positive. Make sure it's good, okay?
I can tell you this. When you say mental health, we talk about mental health. When you talk about, like you asked about J-Hop earlier, we text every day. Every day, at least once a day. How are you? Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Back and forth, at least once. We may not talk 100 times a day, like because he has his streams. He's got to do his like J-Hop does his platform. His platform is how he makes his living, and I respect that. So when he's on live, he does what he does. I try to respect his deal. And it's crazy because I'm in his live, watching his lives all the time. I don't say anything. I don't, because I'll be driving down the road or I'll just be sitting there just chilling, just listening. And I can tell by the tone of his voice how he is that day. And that's what matters to me is people and their mental health. Like I truly care 110% about mental health. And a lot of times I don't look at myself before I start worrying about somebody else. And myself isn't where I need to be before I get to that point. And so sometimes I put other people before myself, and then myself pays for it. And the people around me pay for that.
Yep, exactly. You can't help anybody until you're good.
Yeah.
You inside of you is good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. I'm glad you were here.
Yeah. I mean, let me know.
I hope this was as good as you wanted it to be.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was really good.
I tried to be as open as I could be. There's certain things, yes, I wish I could have talked more about. But unfortunately, yeah, there is some things I'm in the backside that we're dealing with. So
Right. If we got lawsuits or I don't know what, we're not going to be talking about that. But yeah, if anybody missed any parts, bits and pieces of the interview, I post my full version interviews on my YouTube channel at serotonin444. Everybody follow this man right now, and it's the Saving Cohen account, as well as he has his merch on the locksandollie.com website, so go check that out as well. But yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if y'all like watching monkeys, guys, I will tell y'all Locks and Ollie, LOXANDOLLIE. They've been in your chat talking. That's my wife. Me and her run that page together intermittently. I'll go on live or she'll go on live. If you love watching monkeys and like to laugh, that's the place to be, because when you go in there and you watch dad chase a monkey all over the fucking bedroom to try to get him to wipe his ass or whatever crazy shit we're doing, like that's what you're gonna see over there. Like I may be chasing monkeys all over the bedroom trying to get them to let me change diapers, or I may have one grabbing her butt and smearing poop all over me. I mean, like it's just like it's wild. So it's a good time. It's fun. You're going to have a great time watching the monkeys. So if you guys are following Locks and Ollie, like I said, we go live every day over there.
Yeah, love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace out, man.